Akash Hebbar. I'm a product manager with INDMoney. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, but I was lucky I got into data analytics right out of college. So I spent a couple of years with a data analytics startup in Bangalore where I picked up a bit of SQL, Python, and data science. And post that, I moved to Amazon in 2019 where I was a program manager. Uh, and within program manager, I was lucky to work within multiple domains. So I spent about 2 years in customer service and process improvement, and then I moved to supply chain technology. So picked up a bit of, there were flavors of data analytics and project management there as well. And post that, I recently moved to product. So I joined INDMoney as a product manager in the US stock space, and I joined in January of 2020. And the current role is more about looking at what problems US stocks customers face, and then trying to sort of build features around it, generally make the customer experience better. So I think it's one problem that everyone who's looking to transition into product faces, and that is you have a lack of core product experience, right? So I think I was an L5 at Amazon, so any parallel L5 role would always insist on, let's say, at least 3 to 4 years of core product experience. And finding that within non-product teams in Amazon was pretty hard. So I had like multiple interviews. I think I'd given about 10, 20 product interviews before this, and most of those had the feedback that, if this was a program role, we would have hired you, but we're looking for someone with core experience. So sort of positioning whatever experience I had as product experience was like the major challenge. And similar with tech as well. So some product roles are very tech heavy. They insist on people with a tech background. And I come from mechanical engineering, which has no relation to tech at all, but all my work experience was in data analytics. So I think that helped me a little bit. There's a lot of content out there which sort of stresses on think of the customer first, right? And I think my experience at Amazon definitely helped there because the customer obsession is like their number one leadership principle there, and they always insist on always work backwards from a customer's experience. So I think that particularly helped even in the interview process. You're always thinking from a customer's point of view and then trying to say this is how their journey interacting with the product should be, and this is how you can optimize for customer experience. So I think thinking along those lines and always putting the customer first definitely helps. So the first round was with the technical recruiter. So it was basically to understand what my previous experience was and whether that was translatable to product management. So basically there, what helped me was I was able to sort of say that I had worked with engineers before. I had done the entire journey of picking up a tech requirement and then a business requirement and then translating it to a technical requirement for engineers. So I think basically conveying that I was able to work with tech effectively was most of what the interviewer was looking for in the first round. And the second round was with a director of product in the company, and it was again it was a mixture of both metrics and case studies. So they would basically say pick up any one product and then say how would you go about improving it. So again, there you have to sort of show your product sense and say these are the core customers of the product, this is how they currently interact with it, and this is where I think there are multiple pain points, and then you sort of suggest features around it, and then go about prioritizing what the best feature to build would be and why it's the best feature. So the first round with the director of product was a generic case study and basically a couple of metrics questions. Final round was with the VP of product at INDMoney, and very similar. So we had case study questions there. He sort of wanted to understand what my domain knowledge was. I am very interested about personal finance and investing, and I actually have a YouTube channel as well. It's very amateurish, but I think basically showing interest in domain knowledge was what helped there. So I was basically able to say, this is how I've traded all these years. These are my views on personal finance, and this is how INDMoney has helped me in my personal finance journey. So basically showing that I know the product, I know the value prop of the product, and I was able to show depth of understanding there. So I was basically able to say, this is US stocks, this is your value prop in comparison to other people in the market, and this is why I use your product. So domain knowledge, basically showing some understanding of domain basically helped there. And again, other questions were around metrics and case studies as well. So they would basically ask questions like, if you were a product manager at a certain company and you had to build one dashboard to basically say these are your North Star metrics and how to monitor them, what would those metrics be? And again, so because I had worked in analytics before, numbers are sort of, it's something I love, and analytics is something that I'm very much into. So answering these questions with a little bit of depth of understanding definitely helped. So I think multiple people have asked me this question on LinkedIn and other places as well. Right? So there's a depth of content everywhere. So there is so much content online right now, and everyone's a product manager influencer now. Right? So you jump onto LinkedIn and you type product management, you're like literally bombarded with this. So I think trying to find structure within all of that noise is a little hard, and Insaid definitely helped me with that. So there is basically that very structured learning path of, let's say you start off with product discovery, and then you move on to multiple technical aspects of product management. You learn what wireframing is, how you convey what you want the customer experience to tech teams and designers. I think Insaid definitely helped with giving me a structured learning path. And the only problem I had was it was like at 8 a.m. in the morning on weekends, so waking up on Saturdays and Sundays was a little bit of a pain. But apart from that, yeah, I think even the capstone projects that we did, interacting with people with a multitude of experience. I think in our team we had people who had upwards of 30 years of work experience, and then you had people like me who were coming in with like 3-4 years of work experience from multiple domains. Right? So learning from multiple like-minded people who wanted to make the jump to product definitely helped. And I definitely recommend Insaid to people who are looking for a structured learning. I can only speak on like from my perspective and what helped me make the move. I'm sure there are like multiple paths to make it, but I think if you are finding the jump to product too hard to make initially, ideally look for something adjacent to it, right? So I think I can speak from Amazon's experience. You have people like program managers and business intelligence engineers who work very closely with product managers. So program managers will help with execution. BIEs or business analysts will basically help with understanding metrics and what impact it has on the product. So I think moving to a product adjacent role and then sort of getting perspective into how product managers work day to day is definitely one way to go about it. And that way you learn more about the product, which you'll eventually move to. Right? So that's one way to go about it. Another way would be that you learn as much as possible about the domain you want to. So I was very insistent on fintech, money and finance was where I wanted to be. So I spent like at least 2 years talking to people within the fintech field, sort of understanding what level of domain expertise was needed for the role. And I think being able to showcase that in an interview definitely helped. And again, another advice to product managers would be just talk to people who are currently in product. So in Amazon, I was lucky I had multiple mentors who I could reach out to and basically say, what helped you make the move? And people who are successful in the field right now, I'd basically try and set up like a half an hour connect with them and basically get a sense of what helps them in their day to day. As in, what does the start of the day look like? How in depth do the tech POCs expect them to go into? So I think just talking to multiple people and getting a sense of how they went about becoming great product managers definitely helps.